Welcome back, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick video today on this Chibson upgrade and kind of let you know what I've got done and what I'm gonna do, and just look it over real quick. And I'll probably do this and then one more once I get it complete, and then we'll move on to something else. But something I've done since I got it is I changed and put the actual Gibson tuners on, because the ones that came on it were just unusable. They're just no good. I'm just going to throw them in the trash. So these are actual Gibson tuners, just like would actually come on the guitar. And this is what came off of it. They're just, they're like I said, I'm going to throw them in the trash. But you can see the shaft on this one is a lot longer than on this. They stuck out too far, and then the quality is just, just night and day. So, these are, usually I keep stuff like this. If I'm building a cigar box guitar or something, I'll use these tuners, but these are going in the trash. So, it made a big difference in everything. Something I had to do was ring out the holes to make, to make these work. I had some Wilkinson tuners that were similar in design, but, I wanted to have it just like it would be. Like I say, my whole point's not to fool nobody. I want to fool them, but I don't want to scam nobody. But I wanted as close to what it's supposed to be as I could. But I had to ream those out. I've also reamed out the holes for the controls. They have to be, to accept the better grade potentiometers. Check the frets. Mainly, I just had to work on a few. I didn't have to do a fret job on it. I had to just maybe work on a couple. Most of them I just went down through there and made sure that they were all seated, and then polished them, and cleaned and oiled the fretboard. So where I'm at now is let me just set this over here. I've got an original, Gibson bridge. I don't know, that's the original. That's what you're supposed to have. I put it on there. Also, I got the adjusters, and you can see maybe this is the Chinese and this is the Gibson. There's just a world of difference in the quality. I know it's hard to see on camera, but just the feel of it, the weight of it. And if you do order one of those, like the ARB or ABR bridge, make sure that you get the adjusters, because the ones that come with the Chinese, the one that comes with the Chinese guitar the poles are too big. They won't go up inside of it. So make sure you do that. I also got, you can see this is the one that came on it. It's really not that bad of a bridge. I'm gonna hang on to it. Some of my projects somewhere, I'll use it. It really wasn't that bad. And I also ordered a new tailpiece. This is the one that came on it, and like I say, it's actually really not bad. It's heavier than this one, but this is the actual one it's supposed to be on a Les Paul. And you can see it's advanced plating. That's who does Gibson's plating. So and it's really, really light. So the only problem I ran into is your tailpiece adjusting screws. These are the Gibson, and this is the one that came on it. And the threads are just a little bit different. This will start to screw in, but it is interference. It's not, it's not the right thread. So I'm just going to use these that came with it. They fit the tailpiece okay. It's really not worth trying to pull that insert out and put other ones in, because you can very easily pull a chunk of it out, a piece of the wood, and really mess it up. So it's not worth it. It's not going to matter one way or the other. I pulled the pickups out, and they're labeled FC50 and a FC52. And the neck pickup was a 12.52K, and the bridge read 11.93K. So the neck was actually hotter than the bridge, or so it seems. And they have got, they are been wax dipped or something at the most. I mean, they're not, and they didn't sound as terribly bad. And that's a pickup I'll hang on to, like I say, cigar box project or something. It'll probably be fine to stick that in there. So, also, this is the wiring that came out of it. This is what come, in it from a factory. And that's going in the, that's going in the garbage too. So what I've got to go in it is this premium wiring kit, which this is all a jumbled up mess, but this is the premium wiring kit that I'm putting in it. So that's gonna help it a whole lot. And so, like I say, if you go with these bigger, better, pots, they've got a bigger shaft than the other, so you have to ream out those holes. And if you're going to do that, by all means, get a reamer. And it's going to take a while because you're going to have to do it by hand. Don't even try to use a drill, because what you're going to do is you're going to tear a chunk out of the wood. I mean, a drill bit's going to snag, it's going to catch something. Just take your time. It took me several hours to just, do one, come back and do another. It took me several hours to get that done, but it's well worth it, because if you try to use a drill to drill those holes, I mean, unless you got some special bit I'm not aware of, it's just you're taking too much of a chance. When you pull it out, you're going to bring part of the finish, and I was really worried about that, not knowing how good the finish actually was on this guitar. So, I'm going to put the iron gear pickups in, the dirty torque in the bridge, and a blues driver in the neck. And I've got those actually in another guitar right now that I've got to take out. And I really, really like them, and they're in a Strat. And I think in this Les Paul, they're really going to take off. So, it's, so far I'm impressed with it. I mean, in the cavities, it's actually wood. It's not, I mean, really some type of tight grained wood. It's probably some type of mahogany. I'm not going to say what, but it's hard to, but it's just actual. Some of these I've seen that I've took apart, it's almost like they're made out of some kind of real coarse grain. I mean, almost some kind of old doty, this really sorry, soft stuff. And it's actually really hard. So, that's where I'm at with it. And I'll try to get the rest of it put together. I'd like to do more on camera, and I will eventually, but right now I'm just having to, record with my phone, and I can't do a lot of editing and stuff, and I've got to learn a bunch of that. But anyway, so, and I've, got a lot of comments that's not, whether on YouTube or a Facebook or other forums, and somebody had commented that they, for what I had in this, that they had, they'd just rather buy an Epiphone. And I can't agree more. I bought this guitar just to look at it, to see what people were doing, what these people were doing and how close it is to the actual thing. And they're very, very close. And I mean, I also learned this week that they're starting to put the truss rods in that have the nut on them. And that's going to make it extremely hard to tell. And as far as the headstock angle on this, I've got an Epiphone here. If I can do this where we can see, if I can get them, you can see, and it's really hard to tell because get them right at the, but this one, the Chibson lays back considerably. It don't show in the camera. It looks almost the same in the camera, but you can really tell it when you see them, you know, in person. That the angle on, I don't think the angle on this one is correct. I don't think it's quite far enough back, but it is farther back than the Epiphone. I mean, it's so they're getting better. And something that really surprised me was the nut. I just, you know, doing the tuners, cleaning the fretboard, leveling, I just knocked the nut out to put a bone nut in. Well, when I knocked it out, it fell on the floor, and I heard the way it hit. So I picked it up and got to dropping it on the work table, and it was a bone nut. I mean, I can tell the difference real quick. The plastic, bone, tusk, you can tell by the ring of it and the weight of it and the texture of it. So it actually had a bone nut in it the way it came, and that really surprised me. I didn't expect that, and I know some people will probably think I don't know what I'm talking about, but I mean, it really did. It had a bone nut. So, you know, I've got one to put in it that I bought that I had for it, and I'll use it in something else, but there was no difference. You couldn't tell a bit of difference in them. Plus, that one's what they actually had it cut to a good height. Everything was really nice about it. I just glued it back in. So, anyway, I'm gonna, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, get it all upgraded, fix like it, you know, and then I'll do one more video with, you know, with it finished and play it a little bit, whatever, and then we'll move on to something else. But, you know, I really appreciate all the comments and interest I've got on these videos. And if there's something about, you know, that you want to know about this and that I hadn't answered or whatever, you know, feel free to send me a comment. As soon as I see it, I'll try to answer it. And, you know, everybody that's subscribed, you know, I appreciate that. So if you hadn't, you know, hit the little box and the bell, and we'll continue on. But I'll do one more on this thing when we get it all done, and then we'll move on to something else. I've got a bridge to fix on an acoustic guitar and a neck to fix on another one, a lot of other stuff, and try to get my shop back and going. I'm just kind of using the extra room here now and get my shop fixed. So I got a lot of stuff going to come up, and hopefully getting my videos to where I can edit, fast forward, get different camera angles. I mean, I'll try to make a better production. So I'm just learning, and I appreciate everybody's patience and the good things you've had to say. And, you know, until the next time, I'll see you in there.